Carolina is coming off of an absolutely embarrassing 4-8 campaign in the first year of legendary head coach Bill Belichick, man. But surely a year or two, everything's going to be moving in the right direction, right? Well, here's your daggum warning, man. If you get nauseous real easily or you suffer from anxiety, go ahead and click off of the video because this schedule is brutal. Huddle up.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross the Tar Heel, and welcome to the men's department of Carolina football, man. And that's right, Carolina's 2026 college football schedule was just released. And if I could describe it with one word, it would be gauntlet. It is an absolute dadgum gauntlet. But before we dive into that thing, and I do my best to keep my dinner in my belly, if you love Carolina football, man, you're looking for a great community to go through the ebbs and flows of the season, and right now, obviously, we're in the off season of Carolina football. It's basketball season. Consider making the Tar Heel Huddle your home. Previews, recaps, and everything in between, man. Hit that like button today, subscribe to the channel, and share this channel with your fellow Tar Heels, man, and all your college football friends. You know, it's just a great place to hang out for Tar Heel Nation. So, let's get into it. Carolina opens up with TCU in Dublin, Ireland, which is obviously going to be an exciting football game. And how often do the Heels open up out of country? Now I have the misfortune, if you will, of taking in the greatest Carolina football pregame atmosphere that I've ever experienced last year in Carolina's opener against TCU before they beat the brakes off of us 48-14. Good news is that Josh Hoover has transferred to Indiana, who apparently is like the next Alabama or something like that, and we don't have to deal with him anymore. But Sonny Dykes is one hell of a daggum coach, man, and this is going to still be a very tough opener. And I got a feeling, man, that this is one of those games that is going to be a huge tone setter for what kind of season that we can expect. Again, last year Carolina got throttled in Chapel Hill against TCU, and it could have not been more indicative of how that season was going to go. I think we're going to be able to glean a ton from this one as well. TCU went 9-4 last season. That's a tough game to open things up with. Then Carolina gets a bye. Week 2, I'm not a big fan of that, but they do get a bye before their home opener against East Tennessee State. They'll play the Buccaneers, who went 7-5 last year. That's actually where Jacoby Criswell was. He was second on the team in passing, no longer at the university. I think he's exhausted all years of eligibility. You would hope that the Heels, after a bye week against the Southern Conference team at the house in their home opener, would that's going to be about as close to an automatic win as they come. But remember, the Heels are going to have to almost completely rebuild their defense. And who knows what we're going to, actually have offensively. We don't even know who the heck our stinking quarterback is right now. It's probably going to be Billy Edwards Jr. However, what do we have around him? So there's so many question marks surrounding this team, just from a roster standpoint, let alone, looking at the opponents that we're going to be playing. Follow that up with a little trip to Clemson to take on the Fighting Dabo Swinney's to open ACC play. Thanks for the favor, ACC. Clemson's coming off a 7-6 campaign, and they'll be looking to get that program back on the right track. Dabo's not going to be okay with 7-6. The Clemson faithful's not okay with 7-6. And Bill Belichick's coming in town, so I bet you that place is going to be rocking. And, it's going to be a tough daggum ACC opener for Carolina, man. Kate Klubnik will no longer be in the picture, and it looks like a former very high 4-star quarterback Christopher Vizina will probably get the nod here. It's a super, super tough way to open conference play, man. I mean, we couldn't get a Stanford or something to the house this year. You got to have a stinking open it up at Clemson in the conference. Wow. Carolina gets a bye week after that. And, it doesn't get any easier because then we got to host the Notre Dame Fighting Irishmen, our third non-conference game, which just let me get this off my chest real quick about Notre Dame. Pisses me off that the NCAA keeps pandering to the Irish. The fact that all they have to do is finish in the top 12 to get a college football playoff invite is absolutely freaking ridiculous, man. I think I despise this program more and more as the years go by just because of all the pandering and groveling that they get at their daggum feet, dude. I do like Marcus Freeman, but I can't stand the Irishman, and I can't stand that stinking program and all this new information that's coming out about, how they're going to get into the CFP as an independent. It just pisses me off, man, more and more as the years go by. Anyway, Notre Dame won 10 games last year, and then they declined to play in a bowl game because they didn't make the CFP. That's just, how they are. But all that to say that this is another absolutely daunting task for Carolina, dude. TCU, Clemson, Notre Dame, 3 out of your first 4 coming off of a 4-8 campaign. Wow. It could not be more difficult than that, man. Then Carolina gets to take a little trip up to Pitt to take on Pat Narduzzi and the Pitt Panthers. Probably going to try and go up to this one with our favorite Yenzer Hutch. They won 8 games last year, and they had a shot for a while of sneaking into last year's ACC championship game. Mason Heinzel looked pretty good at times, man, so this is not in any way, shape, or form going to be some kind of pushover or something. I strongly would imagine that Carolina would be the underdog in this one, probably by, 2 scores at least. The only saving grace is that it's not up in Pittsburgh, in late November or something like that. We get there in early October. Then we take on Puke in the battle for the victory bell, man. Crazy situation over there right now with Darian Minson, all this tampering garbage, dude. I'm not even going to get off into that daggum tangent. I would obviously love, personally as a Carolina fan, for Darian Minson not to be taking snaps under center. However, I also can't stand the fact that this whole situation is arising when he's supposedly under contract. Man, it's crazy. Like I said, I'm not going to get off into that. But the kid is quite possibly the best quarterback in the country returning. And Manny Diaz's first 2 seasons in Durham have been 9-win campaigns, dude. He's got, unfortunately, somehow that program over there playing pretty good football. I don't know what alternative universe we're living in right now, but this is going to be a tough game, dude. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They've had our bell now for 2 straight years. One thing you cannot do at Carolina and keep your daggum job is lose to Puke, especially over and over and over, man. This is a huge game for Bill Belichick. I don't care how the season is going. You drop this one again, dude, and people are going to be calling for your head, and I will be one of those people. Syracuse is up next to the house. I think Fran Brown is a good football coach, but they lost a ton before that 2025 campaign, and that was not a good football team. Hell, we beat them handily at their place, and that's saying something because we also were not a very good football team. This may be the last game on this schedule where I think Carolina comes in as a favorite, and I am not kidding in the slightest. After Syracuse, back-to-back years on Halloween night, man, Carolina hosts the Miami Hurricanes, who obviously are coming off of a very close national championship defeat against the Hoosiers. Good news is that Carolina's whooped that Hurricane ass 5 straight times. The bad news is that these programs are at 2 very different spots right now, dude. Miami has a composite top 10 class between high school and the portal. They'll be chock full of talent. I don't think I'm surprising anybody when I say this is going to be a tough one, man, to keep that streak going. Then Carolina gets a rare break in conference play late in the season, and they take on their second independent by going up to UConn to take on the Huskies, man. Connecticut in November. It's about as unsexy as it gets, boys. Unfortunately, the Huskies won 9 games last year as well, and they also are not a pushover. Hell, they handed us our ass 2 years ago in the bowl game. I'd be shocked if Carolina's favored in this football game. Absolutely shocked. Then we get Jeff Brom and the Louisville Cardinals at home. They also won 9 games last year, and he's had those guys up near the top of the conference for a minute now. They've definitely been an upper echelon ACC team recently. They will be looking for a new quarterback, which is probably going to be Ohio State transfer Lincoln Kienholz, but I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, man. It's a stinking tough task, man, even at the daggum house, man. Carolina then goes to Charlottesville to take on the Virginia Cavaliers. And the South's oldest rivalry, where Tony Bennett has completely turned things around, apparently. Cavs won 11. They had 11 wins. 11 wins last year for the first time in program history. 136 years of Who's football. And for the first time, they reached that 11-win mark, dude. Lost in the ACC championship game. Won their bowl game down in the Gator Bowl against the Missouri Tigers. And we'll see if, hopefully, possibly, they can come back down to earth in 2026. And then Carolina finishes up with NC State, man. And we've lost this game 5 years in a row, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't seem to matter whether they're up or down over there lately. They just have our number, and it needs to change. Carolina was swept in state last year amongst the Big Four. Swept. You want to get the early boot at Carolina, dude? Lose to Puke in state again. What's really crazy is the fact that when I look at this schedule that we just went over, top to bottom, this might be our fourth best opportunity to get a win, behind maybe East Tennessee State, Syracuse, and potentially UConn. I mean, that's how tough this schedule is, that a team that's had our stinking, name, if you will, that's our fourth best opportunity to get a stinking dub this year, man. And it tells you how I feel about this one, considering where the program is. This schedule was an absolute gauntlet, dude. 9, 7, 7, 10, 8, 9, 3, 13, 9, 9, 11, and 8. That's what our opponents, how many wins that our opponents had last year, man. They averaged 9 wins per team last year. 9. That's crazy, bro. Listen, this is the way too early, look at the schedule. I'm not making any predictions right now or anything like that. So don't quote me on this, but I'm going to keep it honest with you guys, man. I see maybe 2 wins on this schedule, 2. And I don't know if I can find right now a ceiling that has Carolina going to a bowl.
Ouch!
That is a testament to how tough this schedule is, man. And that is a testament to the lack of overall talent on the roster of this team. I'll leave a link in the description section for a video on my thoughts on that. So, 2026 schedule is out. It is an absolute beast. And I want to know what you guys think about it down in the comment section, Tar Heel Nation and college football family. How many wins do you see on this thing? Talk to me, Goose. Seriously, I want to know, man. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. No matter what, it's a great day to be a Tar Heel. Go to hell, Duke. Go to hell, State. And we'll catch you on the next one, baby. Go Hills.